Hey, so if you don't have a lead generation system at the moment, then you can start what I'm about to share with you today, and you can start seeing more results with your lead generation. So let's talk about the problem firstly. So the first problem is a lot of the time that speak to a lot of founders that are running on referrals, right? You're running on referrals as this is just a simple and an easy way of being able to get stuff coming through. However, there's a problem with that. And the problem is that you don't have control over your lead generation, right? You don't have control over how frequent referrals are and effectively just how many you're sort of getting, the quality of them, and so on and so forth. And so, what's really, really key is being able to have control over your lead generation. Because if you're always having to rely on someone else, on some event occurring for you to go and then get leads, then this is a really big problem because you're never going to be able to scale and you're always going to be left feeling quite frantic if you don't have control over your lead generation. The second thing is that a lot of people have a lot to do but take action on very little. And what I mean by that is if you're currently looking at, perhaps tries all these ways you can get more consistent leads and such, you've probably looked through tons of things in terms of ads to emails to social media to all kinds of other networking. The list goes on, right? There's plenty, and there's plenty to do to get leads, right? But at the end of the day, if you let all of that overwhelm you and you don't take consistent action in one area, then effectively what you're left with is really just too little done, right? Not enough is being done at the end of the day, and that's going to cause problems. And what I'd also recommend really from there is start small, right? Start small. And if you're going to do anything from today to start almost having a bit of a system for your lead generation, start by just getting in front of your ideal clients, right? You don't have to post content. You don't have to, do loads and loads of outreach. Just start getting in front of them, right? Now, that's going to mean different things depending on the platform. For example, for LinkedIn, my best way of doing this is creating a LinkedIn Sales Navigator list, a very specific list of my ideal client, and then sending 20 connection requests a day. It takes maybe 5 minutes at most to go and do that. But what it means is that assume you filtered, for the role, for the headcount, the things that you look for in your ideal client, every single day you have the confidence and you know for sure that these individuals are seeing you. They're seeing you, yeah, they're seeing your profile, might even look at your content and such. You know that's happening. And that's control that you have. And then from there, you can take the necessary steps to start moving forward further. And the other problem, really, just overall, is a lot of the times you just have a bit of a reactional and hopeful approach, where perhaps you'll sort of sit there and think, well, as long as the referrals come in fairly frequently, it's okay, right? And obviously, perhaps, maybe sort of some months things are great, other months just it sort of slops. And this is really just a reactional and hopeful approach. And if you're trying to have a business that is, consistent, that is scalable, that is giving you some level of confidence with what's coming in, you can't be doing this, right? And so, like I mentioned before, right, you can spend literally as little as 20 to 30 minutes consistently, to just start taking some form of action. Right now, it depends on your social media, it depends on where your ideal clients are. Now, honestly, I find a lot of the people, a lot of founders, LinkedIn's going to be a pretty good space. And if LinkedIn is a space where your ideal clients are at, then even something as simple as creating a very specific list of the ideal client and then going and reaching out to them or at least effectively just sending connection requests, right? And to be clear, right, send 20 connection requests. They don't have to have a note of any sort, right? Don't worry about including a note. Just send 20 connection requests. And what's nice about this is this takes very little effort, right? Obviously, once you've got the list set up, make sure you save that. It takes very little effort, and this is going to do a few things. First thing is that it's going to grow your audience, right? It's going to grow your audience. And that's going to be quite nice, right? Because it's going to grow those first connections because anyone that accepts the connection then becomes a follower. So when you do go to sort of post content or even sort of reach out to people and such, people will be somewhat more familiar with you. They'll see more of the stuff you're doing. What it also means is that if someone does accept that connection request that is an ideal client, they are more likely to being receptive to perhaps a message, right? And that's a message, by the way, it was horrible. But they're more likely to being receptive to responding to you, right? And some of these people, right, assuming you've got your profile set up in a way that clearly communicates who you help, what you do, how you do it, then they might even be someone that actually accepted for the sake of, oh, this person could help me, they could benefit me, right? And so you can obviously then perhaps reach out to them and start the conversation. But all I really wanted to show you, like at least today, is really if you just don't have a lead generation system at the moment, right? Like I said before, if you're running on referrals, if you don't really feel like you have control over your lead generation, or at least as much control as you want to, then just start small. And by starting small, it can literally be just sending connections, 20 connections to your ideal client every single day, or Monday to Friday or something. Because, like, for example, if you're doing it Monday to Friday, that's 100 connections, or if you're aiming to sort of max out your connection, could be 100 to maybe 140, 150 connection requests every single week. And if you have 20 to 30 of those that accept every single week, you're building your audience, you're getting, well, plenty of people seeing your profile, seeing what you do. And you could even get inbound straight from that, assuming your profile and your sort of content that you're putting out there is set up well. But it's a start. And then from there, when you've got loads of these new connections which fit your ideal client, down the line, maybe a week or so down the line when you feel comfortable with it, then start doing outreach, right? Start reaching out to the warmer leads, keep it personalized, maybe ask a bit of a qualifying question to see if they have a problem you can solve. But that's about it, right? Don't stress on doing these mass campaigns or anything that's outside your comfort zone. Start small and then build your way up, because this is a sort of routine that's not going to take a lot of time, and it's going to reward you really well. So hopefully you found this video really useful. And if you have, then obviously do let me know. And if you're curious to know if or how I could help you with getting leads through LinkedIn, then do also give me a message or check out the description below.